Deciding who to main in Season 12 is no small feat. We've now got 20 legends to pick from, and whether you're brand new to Apex or you've been playing for a while, this video should help you decide the best ways to evaluate who your main will be in Apex Legends. If you are new to the game and you are overwhelmed with the amount of selections you have when it comes to choosing your main, don't worry, I'm here to help. This video isn't designed to be some sort of tier list or for me to tell you who to main. It's more about letting you all in on the different playstyles each of these legends offer. Who's going to be the right fit for you and your playstyle? Well, that's going to come down to a few questions you'll have to answer for yourself. Are you a diehard solo player, or do you have a regular squad to run with? Now, through your own evaluation of how you like to play and who you play with, you will hopefully have a better idea of who to choose from this season. This decision can become increasingly difficult due to the fact that a new legend is added every single season. And as I said before, we now have 20 legends, but when we first started out 3 years ago, there were only 8. And this was a simpler time. You had one healer, one recon, and a handful of defensive and offensive legends. Since then, several new legends have been added, and many legends' roles have even changed. For someone who has a squad, or even for someone who doesn't, being able to fill a variety of roles on your team can be a huge component to being a great player. But back in the day, it was so much more common for your main to get snatched up by some random or your homie who liked the same legend as you. You were then stuck with much fewer options on the role that you get to play for your team. Not to mention possibly being stuck on someone you don't even enjoy playing at all. But now, if someone takes your favorite recon or mobility character, there's actually multiple other fun legends to choose from, where you can still play your desired role on the team and get a similar utility out of that legend. Let's talk about playstyles though. There's 2 different aspects you have to look at in this area: your playstyle and the legend's playstyle. The questions you want to think about are you a fragger, like someone with excellent gun skill and are always on the offensive, ready to be up to your eyeballs in the action? You're going to be both initiating and clutching up in a lot of fights. If so, legends like Mad Maggie, Revenant, Octane, Wraith, Fuse, Mirage, or Pathfinder might be a great fit for you. While technically also mobility legends like Pathfinder, Wraith, Octane, and Valkyrie continue to be common picks for players who want to be right up in the fray, not only can these legends close the gap quickly in order to secure a kill, they can also easily remove themselves from danger at a moment's notice. Their kits offer exceptional outplay ability and never make them an easy target, making them some of the most sought after roles for an offensive minded player. Now, Mad Maggie, Fuse, Mirage, and Revenant on the other hand serve as great initiators. These legends are made for an offensive strategy and causing mayhem. Hearing the sound of a Revenant totem go off nearby is still something that will instantly make a team rethink a push or play extremely defensive. It literally allows that team to have a nearly consequence-free attack on you and can be devastating to an opposing squad as well. Fuse is practically the epitome of chaos. Between his long-lasting knuckle clusters and his ability to bombard you with a slew of grenades, this offensive legend is the perfect pick to lead to an assault in one of the most aggressive ways possible. On top of that, his ultimate can offer real-time player positioning if used correctly. Now, this can be the ultimate advantage in coming out on top in a fight, but you've got to be careful with a legend like Fuse, as he's susceptible to take damage from his own abilities too. Mirage remains the king of bamboozles, and although he's not top tier or in the meta necessarily, he's still excellent at bending line of sight, and depending on your competition, they may or may not know who the real Mirage is. Another legend that does something similar to Mirage is Bangalore. She also uses smokes, and she has a very simple kit that helps her play around line of sight and a simple airstrike that can help be a crowd control technique or to actually deal some serious amounts of damage to enemies. Maggie, the newest legend this season, has quickly proven to be a dream pick for the run and gunner playstyle. Now, she's not top tier as well, but her kit is centered around faster movement, close range loadouts focused on shotguns, and literally burning her opponents out into the open where she can cause optimal damage. If you guys are enjoying this video, all I ask in return is for you to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps my video out a ton, and as always, I'm throwing in a clip of me skateboarding at the end of this video. Back to playstyles. Are you the ultimate teammate who loves to play a supportive role and just be there for your squad whenever they need you? If that's the case, you may want to look at legends like Bloodhound, Caustic, Gibraltar, Watson, Crypto, Rampart, or Loba. See, this group of legends and their kits are built with support in mind. Whether you have a defensive mind and want to hunker down to strategically hold a position for placement, or you aim to retrieve information or loot for your squad so that you can make the best plays and decisions as possible, a support legend might be the perfect fit. Bloodhound continues to be a staple pick on all levels of play. Their ability to offer information to the team remains top notch above all other recon characters. On top of that, their abilities are overall easy to use and friendly for solo or team-oriented players. Caustic, Watson, and Rampart are definitely the more defensive support legends. Their kits center around positioning and playing a bit more passive. Now, in theory, you want to fight enemies on your turf while you run one of these legends. Each of them provides different value in different ways, but Watson and Caustic are excellent choices for the more passive defensive playstyles. That's not to say you can't be aggressive with them, because you can. It's just that it's going to be a much different experience than being aggressive with someone who's more centered around movement per se. But if none of this has interested you so far, maybe you're more of a movement junkie and more suited to a mobility legend. You like to outmaneuver and outplay your opponents, as well as help your squad get to the best possible positioning to win the game. Because if this sounds like you, you'll want to look more towards legends like Valkyrie, Horizon, Ashe, Pathfinder, Wraith, and Octane. Movement legends can be the most fun, and honestly, they're probably the most difficult to master. But movement and Apex go together like peanut butter and jelly. See, characters like Valkyrie and Pathfinder often take a lot of hours. They have a huge skill gap for you to truly get a hang of their abilities. So they may not be the most friendly pick for someone brand new to the game, but if you're willing to put in the time, the outplay abilities that they offer can be some of the most coveted in the game. One of the most important components to keep in mind when choosing your main in Apex is considering whether or not your pick is more team friendly or one better suited for a solo queue player. See, as mentioned before, having a pre-made squad can obviously come with numerous advantages and allows for you guys to each pick a legend that is going to create the ultimate team scenario. However, if you are more of a solo queuer and commonly squad up with randoms, which is still a lot of the player base, I'll say, you need to consider your pick in a different manner. Because not every legend is going to play to the strengths of someone playing solo. It's an unfortunate fact, but a lot of the time in pub matches, if your randoms go down, they might not stick around for you to try to retrieve their banner or even revive them. If this happens, you've still got to be able to look out for yourself. If you went and picked your favorite support character like Lifeline, hoping to be the backbone of the team, but now you're left without one, well, you might be at a major disadvantage because of this pick. Now, this isn't to say you can't run a support legend as a solo player, because it does happen all the time, but it's definitely something you've got to keep in mind regardless. Legends that might be better suited for solo queue players would be mobility legends such as Valkyrie, Pathfinder, Ashe, Octane, Wraith, or Horizon. These legends not only allow you to lend something to the team, but if you're in a bind or left on your own, you can still take care of yourself. Loba is also a solid pick in this category, since she's not only a movement legend, but she also has a supportive aspect to her with her ultimate. Mad Maggie's kit proves to be another well-rounded option here. She gains movement through her loadout and her ultimate, and she gains minor scans through the damage that she deals with her passive. She's first and foremost an offensive-minded legend, giving you all the tools you need to be successful on your own and in your own type of playstyle, rather than relying on your teammates all the time. And if you find yourself alone in a trios or a duos match as Maggie, well, it's not the worst case scenario. Being flexible with your main is an incredibly valuable thing here. If you're really competent on only one legend, well, that's good, but if that legend gets taken from you or it's simply not valuable anymore because the existing meta has shaken up, you might end up hindering yourself and your teammates. So putting the hours in to learn multiple legends can be well worth it in the end and make you a better player. At the same time, paying close attention to what the current legend meta is, whether it's the casual scene or the pro scene, can be invaluable when it comes to choosing who to main season to season. Will the newest legend make it onto the competitive stage? Did buffs or nerfs to existing legends make them rise or fall in the ranks? The answers to these questions can change even in the middle of a season with these mid-season patches, so you've got to keep a watchful eye on how these changes affect the meta and ultimately affecting your main. If you watch this video to the end, thank you so much for doing so, and I hope you'll consider subscribing. Here's the clip of me skateboarding. Peace.